This car has turned upside down in the middle of the forest. Outside the car, we see a bear wearing a suit trying to do something. After a while, the man who was inside the car woke up in a room. His head is still hurting as he tries to remember what happened to him. He remembered that while he was driving a car, an animal suddenly jumped out in front. Right then, he started calling out for a person named Chica. He remembers that Chica was sitting in the passenger seat. At that moment, a pig entered the room. This pig is standing like a human and also talks human language. He first greeted the man and then asked him if he slept well. Immediately, he asked the pig about his daughter, Chica. Pig explained to him that yesterday, he and his daughter were in an accident on the forest road. Luckily, one of the villagers found them and brought them here for treatment. Pig told him that his head hit really hard, but his daughter only suffered some minor injuries. The man was relieved to learn that his daughter is fine and requested the pig to take him to his daughter. Pig agrees immediately and says that breakfast has been prepared and his daughter is waiting for him there. While walking toward the main hall, the man saw many images of different animals on the wall. He thought that this was a massive state. Judging by the interior, he concludes that this is an incredibly old building. Seeing the images of different animals, he thought that whoever lives here doesn't have a good taste. After thinking for a while, the man asked the pig about why he's wearing a pig costume. He asked if this is some kind of costume-themed hotel. Hearing the question, the pig let out a little laugh and said that it's quite an amusing thought. With that, they reached the main hall and the pig opened the door. Inside the room, there were many different animals sitting like humans. Seeing them, the man just wondered why there were so many people in animal costumes. Right then, a girl ran to him calling him daddy. He was really happy to see her and asked her if she's fine. She told him that because he didn't wake up, she played with animals. All the animals were looking at them and observing them. The goat concludes that the man is around 30 years old, while to the sheep, the man looks really healthy. The cat said that this man is a bit on the slender side, and he also reeks of cigarettes. The dog said that as long as this man got the stamina, he should be fine. While the cow is wondering if he will be able to entertain them or not. The man didn't hear their talk and after confirming that Chica is completely fine, he thanked all of them for saving them. Suddenly, a boar grabbed the man from behind. Seeing him, the deer, who's sitting in the main seat, asked the boar whose name is Hoensa to not scare their guests. Saying that, he invited both of them to sit down and enjoy the meal. Without wasting a moment, the man and his daughter sat on the seats and started eating like they haven't eaten anything for days. Every animal looked at them and were really happy because they're seeing signs of good health. After eating the fill, the man asked them about the way to get to the nearest hospital because he wants to get his daughter checked to confirm if she's completely fine. Immediately, the room turned dark. The man got startled and wondered if he said something wrong. The deer broke the silence saying that his concern about his daughter is good, but they're already here, so the deer asked them that they should at least tour around for some time. The man was hesitant thinking about refusing, but his daughter said that she wants to play for some more time, so he decided to tour around. The next moment, the pig became their guide and showed them around. While walking, the man was getting more concerned and asked the pig if they can make a call to book a taxi. The pig answered that they didn't have cell service here. The man was shocked that even during this modern age, these people don't have any phone service. But his daughter was really happy, so he just followed along for now. After a while, they reached a room which shocked them. Inside the room, they saw many humans living inside the cages like animals. The pig is here to feed them like in farms humans feed animals. He first turned on the water, and like animals, all the humans stepped on each other to get wet. While feeding them, the pig explained that this farm constantly breeds and manages around 100 humans. They classify them into different ranks like young, old, men, and women. The pig said that this human shed is on the lowest one. Previously, Chica was playing with the pig and was calling him cute, now the pig is looking toward the humans that are in the cage saying that they are looking kind of cute. The pig said that humans in this shed can't speak, that's why they're his favorite. The man was really shocked and asked the pig what kind of joke this is. The pig didn't reply if it's a joke or not, but he asked the man to not get scared because he'll live in a much better shed. The pig looked at some notes and said that when the man and his daughter arrived, the pig and other animals conducted a full examination. Even though the man has a habit of drinking alcohol, after a few days of detox, that won't be an issue. Which means, he'll still be made into an excellent and juicy meat. The man was really shocked and said to the pig that he is talking like he's some kind of livestock. The pig smiled and said that everyone reacts like this at first. The pig said that they provide their humans with nutritious feed. They maintain strict quality control. They ensure a stable supply. Their goal is to produce safe, high-quality, delicious meat. The next moment, the pig threw both daughter and father in the cell, saying that they'll stay here for a few weeks. Now finally the man has realized that everything he saw until now was real. The animals here are real and intelligent like humans. They keep humans in cages like consumer products. He realizes that they were brought here on purpose. The little poor girl is also crying and apologizing to the father. She said that it was her fault, because she wanted to play more, they got stuck here. Hearing that, the man smiled and said to Chica that it was not her fault. Outside, the pig appeared behind a deer who was looking at his gun. The deer's name is Ernest, and the pig informs him that everything has gone according to the plan. Learning that, Ernest got up and provided a gun to all the animals and said, "The hunt begins now." At the same time, the man is running with his daughter. He was trying to get away from this village as fast as possible. While running, he suddenly spotted a human who could talk. When the man went to see that human, he noticed a collar on his neck. Immediately, that man started acting like a dog and grabbed the man. At that moment, a dog arrived there holding a gun. This human is trained by this dog and is being raised as a pet. The dog pointed the gun at the man and shot him, but the dog accidentally killed his own man. Even if he killed one, that didn't matter because he has 3 more on leash. Without wasting a moment, the man ran outside the forest. But after some running, he activated a trap which injured his leg. The man didn't care and asked his daughter to run away. After a moment, a boar arrived there. He looked at the empty trap, and also couldn't smell the scent of the man. The man was hiding behind a tree trunk without letting out any voice. While he was hoping to not get found, the boar arrived behind. He grabbed the man from the neck and was about to kill him when someone shot him. The one who saved the man was none other than Ernest. When the boar saw Ernest, he immediately started apologizing, saying he was just playing around. Hearing that, Ernest put the gun on the boar's head and said to him that he is acting like an animal. Ernest started shouting at the boar. He asked the boar about the one who gave him the permission to torment a human. Ernest asked the boar about the one who said he can eat humans alive. Ernest called this act of the boar, cruelty. Ernest asked the boar about how many times he has to tell him that life must be treasured. The boar's name is Hoensa, and in the end, Ernest said to him that if they treat humans like trash, then they cease to be who they are. After scolding Hoensa, Ernest went toward the man and apologized to him. The man thought that this deer is a good animal, so he asked him to save his daughter. Ernest said to him that he had nothing to fear. At that moment, a bear brought back Chica, who was unconscious. When the man saw the scene, he was really shocked and scared, unable to say anything. After a while, we see the food is getting prepared. Juicy meat is getting cooked, dishes are being placed on the table. After a while, most of the animals arrived at the main hall to enjoy the food. When Ernest said to the man that he has nothing to fear, Ernest meant that his life will not be wasted in the slightest. He will become their flesh and blood, and live on within them. The food is ready, and the first dish we see is a man's head surrounded by meat and different fruits. All the animals started enjoying the food without wasting a moment. While they were eating, the pig came to Ernest and said to him that 3 humans had arrived. Ernest smiled and ordered the pig to welcome them warmly. With that, they started enjoying the meat again. Outside, a badger and a lynx were pushing a carriage. Badger was saying to lynx that working outside feels really great. Lynx also agrees, saying that this work is better than cleaning the human sheds. Suddenly, Lynx felt the carriage get heavier and asked the badger, whose name Doug, if he was pulling the weight or not. It turns out that Doug left the carriage and is playing with flowers. Lynx immediately called Doug to do his work. Hearing the call, Doug reminds the lynx that they don't get to work outside often, so they should enjoy it. Lynx, whose name is Nero, said that he just want to get this over with. With that, they continued their work again. Inside the carriage, there are many humans looking scared. Doug said to Nero that human hunting is a noble tradition, a sport for the elite. Doug said that hunting humans is his dream job, which he wanted to take part in one day. At that moment, Nero noticed that a human was trying to break the lock. He immediately went toward her to stop her. When she saw Nero, she asked him to help her and let her get out of here. Before Nero could say anything, Doug arrived there, and hit the girl with the stick, because of which she immediately backed out. Right then, Doug noticed smoke coming out from the village. Doug realized that it's a signal and set all the humans free. They let them free to hunt them down. After a while, each human got caught by a different animal and got killed in many different and gruesome ways. After all the humans died, Doug and Nero took care of the bodies. Then, they both went to a bar where we saw many human heads decorated on the wall. Many different animals are sitting in the bar, drinking and enjoying themselves like humans do. Some minutes later, Doug and Nero's order arrived. They had human leg, sautéed to perfection. Doug was really enjoying the food, but Nero was thinking something else. He thought that lately, for some reason, eating humans feels wrong to him. Noticing that Nero isn't eating anything, Doug asked if something's the matter. Now, Nero has no choice but to eat the human meat even if he doesn't like it. After eating just a little, Nero has to go to the toilet and throw up everything. While walking home, Doug talked to Nero, calling him lucky because tomorrow the kids from District 6 are coming for their tours, and Nero is in charge of them. The next day, we see that many little animals are standing outside a cell looking at the humans. Like humans go to a farm and enjoy seeing animals inside the cage, animals here enjoy seeing humans inside the cage. Kid animals were shouting, asking humans to look at them. But no matter what they called, all the humans were stuck in a corner without looking toward them. Right then, Ernest came to them and told them that if they want humans to look toward them, they should stay quiet. Kids took Ernest's advice, and slowly, humans started looking at them. At that moment, Nero also arrived there as he's the in charge of the tour. Nero accompanied the kids and showed them different cages. After some walking, Nero showed a cage to the kids which is for overfat humans. In this cage, humans don't care what they have in front of them, they eat snakes, insects and every random thing to survive. Seeing how Nero is taking care of the kids, Ernest praised him, saying that he's good at this work. Looking at Ernest, Nero thought that he was thinking Ernest would be more stiff, being the village leader and all. But he's actually so easy to talk to. Nero realized why everyone likes him. After a moment of looking at Ernest, Nero started thinking if he had seen him somewhere before. Suddenly, Ernest said that they should end today's tour here. He asked Nero if they should end the tour by butchering one of the humans to show the kids. Nero was shocked and said that they can't just butcher a human, they need a clearance from the higher-ups. Ernest said to Nero that there's no issue, but Ernest is the one who grants clearance. Like this, Ernest took one human, and tightly bound him to the table. Seeing the humans, Ernest praised him, saying that he's young with a healthy complexion, which makes a magnificent specimen. Immediately, the man started shouting that he doesn't want to die. He called for his mom, but there's no one to help him. Kids were just watching and enjoying the screams of humans. Seeing kids enjoying the scene, Ernest got happy and said that they're very diligent, which is very admirable. Ernest said to them that the thing that matters the most is facing everything with sincerity. Otherwise, it would be disrespectful to life. Ernest told the kids that the meat isn't just a lump of flesh. Every single day, someone takes a knife in their hands and faces morality head-on. That's what it truly means to eat life, to eat humans. Hearing that, a little goat asked Ernest if it's really okay for them to eat humans if that's the case. Ernest answered with a smile and asked them to remember one thing. He asked them to never forget respect and gratitude. To be eaten and to be enjoyed, that is the greatest happiness for humans. Kids got even more happy thinking that humans are the happiest when they're eaten. With that, Ernest took the knife and slowly started butchering the man. Seeing the scene, Nero, who was also standing right there, remembered something. He remembered a sentence, "Your life will not be wasted in the slightest." He remembered the time when Chica's dad was getting hunted by different animals. He also remembers when a bear brought unconscious Chica in front of him. Nero fell to the ground realizing that he got eaten by these animals once. He finally remembers that he was once a human. This is Chica's father. After remembering everything, Nero jumped to attack when a little bear appeared in front of him asking him if he wanted some meat. Immediately, Nero stopped his action. Bear told him that Ernest cut up some meat for them. He also told Nero that it's fresh so they can eat it. After a while, all the kids said thanks to Nero for guiding them around and prepared to leave. Ernest also said thanks to Nero and said to him that if anything comes they'll call him again. On the other hand, Doug was in his house and was about to start eating the meat when someone knocked on the door. Doug went to check and saw Nero. Before Doug even said anything, Nero grabbed him and asked him if he had any memories from the time when he was a human. Sometime later, Nero has told everything to Doug, like how Nero used to be a human and after getting eaten, he became an animal like them. Nero knows that Doug will not easily believe him. And as he expected, Doug thought that Nero was just making up a story and praised him for coming up with this idea. When Nero said that he's telling the truth and asked Doug to believe in him, Doug turned serious. He said how he's supposed to believe in him and told Nero that humans are just meat. According to Doug, animals are children of God. There's no way they could ever be human. Doug believes that Nero is just exhausted, so he asks to rest here for a while and eat some meat. But the next moment, Nero disappeared from his house. Nero was walking outside alone thinking about his identity. He wonders why he's the only one who remembers the past. He thinks that Chica is already and wonders if she also ended up like him. While walking, Nero started doubting if he was really a human. He asked how he ended up in this animal body if he was a human before. He is confused and wonders if something like this is possible. He questioned what he's supposed to do now. After a moment of walking, he saw a donkey enjoying himself with a human female. Without wasting a moment, Nero ran away and stumbled upon a raccoon. This raccoon was grilling a human, and when Nero saw that, he ran away while throwing up from time to time. Next, he saw a dog walking on the road with her pet human. In the end, Nero wasn't able to endure it. He started crying, saying that he wants to see Chica. On the ground, Nero wonders if Chica is somewhere out there trapped in an animal's body like him, or is she already dead? Nero has many questions, like why he's the only one with his human memories. He wonders where this place is. Why are these animals like this? What is he here for? Slowly, he started remembering the old times he spent with Chica. He remembers the time when Chica was crying seeing a weak butterfly being stuck in spider net. Her father told her that this is how nature works, so they can't do anything. Hearing that, Chica asked her dad if she'll also get eaten because she's also weak. Her dad answered no and promised her that if any bad guy tried to hurt her, he'd beat them up. After a while, Nero started going back on the road. While walking, he saw the same donkey who was enjoying himself with a human girl a minute ago. When the donkey saw Nero, he asked him if he also wanted to enjoy. Nero didn't say anything and just looked at him with a straight face. Donkey took it as a yes and led the way. The girl was laying on the table showing no movement even after the donkey pressed a burning cigarette on her. When the donkey saw that his pet wasn't moving, he started beating her, saying that he spent so much money on her, and now she's already broken. Seeing the scene, Nero thought that these creatures are neither animals nor humans. He also put himself in the same category. After beating the girl for a while, the donkey said to Nero that he should come back next time because his pet isn't working properly for now. Nero answered with 2 words, "Thank you." Donkey was shocked and asked what he did to get a thanks. Nero told him that he finally understands why he's alive. Immediately after saying that, Nero jumped and bit the donkey's neck. Then, Nero used his full force and bit out the flesh of the donkey. Next, he uses his hands and tears apart the donkey's face. While doing that, he thought that he was reborn for a single reason, and that is to wipe out the last one of these creatures. The next day, an animal named Gran was knocking on someone's door but was getting no answer. Doug, who was just moving by, saw that and asked Gran if something's wrong. Gran answered that no matter how he knocked the door, no one answered. The person inside told Gran that he'll go fishing with him tomorrow, but now that person isn't coming out. Doug assumes that the person inside has most likely passed from drinking too much. Hearing that, Gran left the house because there's nothing he can do now. Inside the house, we see Nero, who has just finished eating his meal. And the thing he ate wasn't a human, but the donkey he hunted last night. After some days, many animals gathered in a hall because many animals are dying in the village. From the continuous deaths, they notice that the animals that are dying are all from the privileged class. First, they assume that the killer is most likely one of the working class. But they refuse to believe it because they're not humans, they don't kill each other. So, they assume that the killer is most likely a human livestock. The killer could be one of the pets or a human servant. But some still refuse because they believe that humans aren't strong enough to hunt them down. While they were talking, Ernest entered the room. Without saying anything, he walked toward a piece of skin from a dead boar. Ernest started crying while calling out the name of this boar, Hoensa. After some crying, Ernest gave a speech and motivated everyone who was in the room. The first one to leave the room was a bear. While all the other animals said things like they're chosen one or they're children of God, the bear knows that at the end of the day, they're just beasts. While the bear was walking outside, Ernest was looking at him through the window. Suddenly, the bear caught a smell of blood from an abandoned building in front of him. His mouth turned watery, thinking that it's finally his turn. He slowly walked toward the building while thinking that he doesn't care if the killer is his own kind or a human, he just wants to have some fun. When he entered the building, we saw that Nero was hiding on the roof. Immediately after the bear entered, Nero jumped down and thrust a knife in his nose. The bear tries to attack, but Nero just runs away. Suddenly, a rope appeared around the bear's neck. Nero pushed the other side of the rope, which caused the bear's neck to strangle. Because the bear had sharp claws, he easily cut the rope and freed himself. When the bear tried to attack Nero, he used the knife and cut down the bear's hand. But the bear didn't stop, he attacked with the second hand. After a while, the bear had cut all over his body, but he still refused to back out. He seems to have come to a realization. He thought that Nero is a wildcat, a natural-born killer, blessed with unmatched agility. More than that, the bear isn't only feeling bloodlust, he is also feeling thirst for vengeance coming from Nero. With that, Nero had cut down the bear into like 1,000,000 pieces, and in his mind, he was asking Chica to wait a little longer. The next day, animals found the dead bear in thousands of pieces. Ernest cut the bear's head and took out the brain. One animal questioned why Ernest always took the brains out. Another animal answered that he keeps them on display in his private estate so he won't forget his fallen comrade. For this, all the animals admire Ernest. After taking out the brain, Ernest looked at the bear getting buried and said, "Let's go home, ugly. Back to our warm, welcoming home." In the house, Ernest was sitting in front of his collection of brains. Ernest remembers how the bear and he were both young and knew each other since the day this village was found. In those days, they were both young and reckless, always picking fights. In the end, Ernest reveals that the bear was the only one who knew the secret. The secret of what they truly are and why they were born. At that moment, the head of a pig rolled into the Ernest room. Nero entered the room and said to Ernest that he's the last one from that dinner table. He pointed the gun at Ernest's head and said, "Die just as mercilessly and you killed me and my daughter." With that, Nero shot the gun and killed Ernest. After killing Ernest, Nero was about to kill himself when Ernest entered the room. Nero was really shocked thinking that he just killed him. Before Nero even asked him, Ernest answered that the one he killed was just a doll that he created. A lifeless hunk of flesh with no soul. Ernest called it a failed experiment. Ernest said that biological research is a hobby of his. He said that he curiously knows no bounds. Ernest called it magnificent that Nero regained his memories. Ernest said that it is an unexpected discovery that both Nero's mind and body are perfectly stable. Ernest also said that there were few sacrifices, but that doesn't matter now. At that moment, Nero was about to run toward Ernest to kill when Ernest brought Chica in the room. Nero was really shocked and couldn't believe that Chica is still alive and fine. Nero was really happy seeing his daughter alive. He slowly walked forward saying that she's grown so much. He wondered how many years passed, and asked her if she's doing well. Then, Nero told her that he's her daddy. At that moment, Chica talked but not in a human language, but she just said meow. Ernest reveals that Chica is an adorable and prized pet of his. He said that she was meant to be prey from one of his hunts, but she was just too cute to eat. So, he treated her wounds and kept her. Ernest admits that Chica never warmed up to him easily. Taming her was quite the challenge for him. Nero was confused, wondering what Ernest was saying. He said that Chick is his daughter. Ernest continues, he can't believe that the father from that hunt was Nero. He said that life has a funny way of bringing things full circle. Suddenly, when Nero ran toward Chica while her that she's his daughter, Chica started licking Ernest's face like a cute animal. At that moment, Nero stopped on his way and said that if he hadn't brought her here, if he had realized sooner, if only he had protected her back then. He says sorry to Chica and tells her that as long as she's alive, that's enough for him. He doesn't want more. As long as she can smile, as long as she can be a happy human. Saying that, he ran toward Ernest to beat him up. He announces that he'll beat up every single creature who destroyed their life. As he was running, saying all that, Chica suddenly remembered a scene of her living with her daddy and called Nero her dad. Because of that, Nero lost his concentration for a moment, which gave Ernest the chance to attack. Ernest's horn pierced Nero's stomach, but he still didn't stop. He's happy that Chica remembered him and started attacking Ernest. Seeing the scene, Chica started remembering more of her life with her daddy. She finally remembered who she was and asked Ernest why he's eating her daddy. It turns out that Nero wasn't able to kill Ernest and now is getting eaten by him. Ernest slowly takes a bite of Nero's meat and enjoys it little by little. In the end, Chica wasn't able to see and passed out. After a while at Ernest's house, Chica woke up. Before she said anything, Ernest said sorry to her for being caught up in his meal. As she opened her eyes completely, she was really shocked. Immediately, Ernest told her that it's okay now. He knows that she's been through a lot and decided to tell her a story. He said that it all started with a goat. She was the last of her kind, the final female before her species reached human-driven extinction. They called that goat, Maiden. In a desperate attempt to save her species, humans tried everything. Through genetic engineering, they rewrote her DNA, granting her the ability to reproduce without a male, something only certain insects and reptiles were known to do in the animal kingdom. It was an act that defied human morality, but no one dared to object. But there was one fatal miscalculation: for a large mammal to reproduce via parthenogenesis, it required an enormous amount of energy. For this maiden, a herbivore, developing a craving for meat. Her own children weren't safe, she had a particular taste for their brains. Then one day, by chance or perhaps by fate, the maiden attacked her human caretaker. And something strange happened. Through consumption, she combined human brain with animal genes, and she became a creature that could give birth to animal humans. That is how these creatures came to be. Ernest called it a cruel joke born from human hands. He reveals that to maintain these bodies, they must continue to eat humans. But then, Ernest knows that she must be wondering why he enjoyed eating her daddy. He wasn't human, he looked like an animal. Ernest didn't want to reveal it to everything, he revealed it just to Chica. He said that animal humans taste far better than human meat. He said that all living beings are born with desire, it's in their nature to chase it. If it's delicious, Ernest wants to taste it. Even if they were his own sibling, born from the same womb. After that, Ernest presented Chica in front of all the animal humans and told them that the one who killed their brothers and sisters is this human. All the animals were really angry and wanted to execute Chica on the spot. According to these animals, they're the children of God standing at the peak of this world, but Ernest knows that truth. He knows that they are nothing but failed creations. He called them ignorant and thought that they too are meant to be eaten. The next moment, Ernest was walking in the Ernest area while holding Chica. As he walked, he continued saying that humans and animals alike are his nourishment. If there is a single true God, it would be the one who stands at the pinnacle of the ecosystem. A God has the right to monopolize delicious things. He told Chica that in the process these human animals birth, on rare occasions, some recall human memories. Ernest called this a miracle and told Chica that his father was one such case. He said that those who inherit memories are exceptionally delicious, and Chica carries that same lineage. At the end of the underground tunnel, there was a giant goat. Around the goat, there were many skulls and bones of humans. Ernest called this goat Mommy and said he bought something for her. Then, he gave Chica to the goat, and she started eating her. While she was eating Chica, Ernest's mouth was watery and he just wondered what Chica will taste like after she's reborn. He has to wait 10 months and 10 days. After that time, a goat was born. Ernest named this goat Chica and asked if she remembered her time as a human. As she didn't respond, he said that there's no rush. He asked her to just let her memory return slowly. Right then, he remembered that he brought a cake to celebrate. A rich, creamy one, made with human milk, extra sweet. The cake is on the table upstairs, so Ernest decided to go get it. After a moment, Chica heard footsteps of someone coming downstairs. Surprisingly, the one who came down wasn't Ernest but a human holding an Ernest head. He threw Ernest's head on the ground and reported that there's just a kid in the basement and asked the others to keep searching for the breeding specimen. Outside, many humans arrived in the village holding guns and started killing all animals. In a big city, a meeting was held where some people were talking about the incident that occurred at just one of the many farms. They said that there's no need to worry, they should leave this matter to the discretion of the local administrator. But some didn't agree with this suggestion because that local administrator was the one who caused the problem. A person said that it's a quality control error that should never happen, meat, attempting selective breeding of its own volition. In other words, there's a real concern of genetic contamination. He said that their food security has been violated. For some reason, in this meeting, there's not only humans but also animals. They are sitting together like they are one, not like the animals in the town we see earlier. They said that if they ignore this minor issue, ripples will inevitably form. Even a small-scale farm plays the role of a blood vessel in the body. If it rots, that decay will eventually reach the organs. Therefore, the farm currently under siege, Farm E13, must be purged. Everyone raised their hands in the favor of this suggestion. Scattered across the world are countless farms. Each one of them exists under the unknown company's control. To sustain the lives of animal humans there, a stable supply of human meat is secured and distributed. In turn, these farms produce the finest quality animal human meat, which is then shipped across the world, serving as both nourishment and pleasure for the elites. A perfect dining table, where humans and animal humans alike consume one another. This vision is made possible only through that unknown company's tireless efforts. In the meeting, a human was looking at Ernest's photo assuming that he would have been an excellent meat. Beside the human, an animal human was sitting who asked him to not worry, they'll just make more. At that moment, they smelled something delicious. Are they humans, animals, or something else? No. The strong devour the flesh of the weak. That is the only law of this world. At the village, humans were killing all the animals without mercy. But they were sparing the elders and kids. They loaded all survivors in the trucks and announced that whoever resisted them would die. They also announced that they're going to transport all the survivors to another farm. In the truck, Chica was sitting. Her stomach let out a growl and she said with a smile, "I'm hungry." At the farms partnered with ANN Pasieta, not only are safety and security guaranteed, but also the feed, living conditions, and levels of stress are carefully considered. By establishing strict quality standards for each livestock barn, they are able to produce exceptionally ideal and supreme quality anthro meat. This is Takanaji, head chef of ANN Pasieta. To him, anthro meat is the ultimate ingredient. He said that he's often asked, what's the secret to delicious cooking? He said that he simply listens to the voice of the ingredient, that's how he answers. What brings them joy, what gives them anxiety, their pain and fear, even their moments of peace and comfort. By exchanging words, Takanichi said he can understand them. He said that for a chief, it's like gaining 100 spices. Once you understand their heart, all that's left is to gently guide them to deliciousness. The finest ingredients, the finest staff, an unexpected dining experience, woven together with their finest guest, this is what restaurant ANN Pasieta offers. At the end of the ad, Takanaji said that they sincerely look forward to their visit. At ANN Pasieta, some people were sitting talking to each other. Takangi appeared there and welcomed them. He told them that tonight's menu has been crafted together with their talented staff. A one-of-a-kind full-course meal infused with personal tastes and preference. An encounter with cuisine they can't experience anywhere else. In the end, Takangi asked them to enjoy to their heart's content. People were really happy to see Takangi. All of the people that are here booked a year in advance to come here today. After that, the food was presented in front of everyone. Seeing the goat decorated on a table, everyone was really excited to try it. To surprise everyone even more, Takanaji did something unexpected. He rang the bell and the cooked lamb opened his eyes. He even talked and asked where he was. All the people who were present there were really shocked, they couldn't believe their eyes. Then, Takangi explained that even though the head has been removed and each part prepared, the body is connected through tubes, with transfusions and an artificial heart. They have administered life-extending measures. Next, Takangi decided to explain the dishes. First, the arm is served raw as a carpaccio to preserve its freshness, its signature lamb-like aroma is paired with edible flowers. The other arm was shaved down, minced and fried crisp in its own lamb fat, cricket style. The organs are blended with herbs into a merbled pâté, best enjoyed with bread, to your taste. The shank meat was simmered with bone into a rich, hearty soup. Prosciutto made from rib meat is wrapped around a bone-in thigh, a luxurious saltimbocca. As humans were eating the food, the lamb was really confused. At that moment, a man came in front of the lamb's head and asked him to tell them his story. The girl also talked, saying to the lamb that his meat is absolutely delicious, which made her curious about her story. She wants to learn about the wonderful farmer who raised him. As they were talking and asking the lamb his story, the lamb started crying. Right then, Takangi injected something into the lamb's heart. Takanaji is pouring alcohol directly into the lamb's heart, which made him feel really good. He asked the lamb if he's feeling good. Lamb just smiled like he's drunk and said thank you to Takanaji. Right then, Takanaji cut the lamb's tongue and blood started pouring out like a fountain. Everyone enjoyed the scene and the food, and after some time, all the humans left the hotel. Late at night, Takanaji was standing in the kitchen when an animal human walked in. This animal is the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Genso. Genso reveals that he watched everything from behind the scenes and praised Takanaji for his work. Then, Genso asked him if he's always alone after the staff leaves. Takanaji answered yes and said that it's habit of his. He replayed the day's dishes in his head and savored them mentally. Hearing that, Genso calls him an amazing chef and says that for the next dinner gathering, there's a rare special request. Genso said that the guest of honor has an extremely refined palate, they don't care for farm-raised or cultivated stock. In other words, a wild cough and natural human is what that guest desires. Inside the car, Takanaji was sitting with his son. His son asked Takanaji if Takanaji could make it to his next game. Takanaji answered yes and said he'll surely be there to see him play. Some time earlier, when Takangai heard from Genso that the guests needed a wild human, Takanaji got worried. He said that he only deals with anthro-humans, not naturally raised on. Right then, Genso reveals that a high-ranking official wants a personal chef, so if Takanaji was able to satisfy that guest, Takanaji will reach new heights. When Takanaji remembered all that, while sitting in the car and talking to his son, he thought that he's waiting for this day to come someday. The highest-ranking chef can reach. He thought that for his son and family, he seized this opportunity. After some days, all the chefs who worked with Takanaji were gathered at the same place. As they were talking that they are lucky to work with a person like Takanaji, they smelled something weird. They wondered if it's a gas leakage and decided to check the kitchen. But when they tried to open the door and go out, they realized that it's locked. Outside the room, someone was standing with a cylinder that had a pipe attached to it which was going inside the room. Even after hearing screams from the inside, the person didn't open the door. After a while, all the guests' animal humans arrived at the hotel to test the food. Takanaji welcomed them and then presented a very decorated dish. It had human heads all over, and also legs at different places. It is a luxurious cake made out of humans. Takanaji bowed down, telling them all the humans that he used in the dish were wild caught and asked them to savor them. At that moment, a cat pointed at the top of the cake. He asked Takanaji what it was. Takanaji explained with a smile that it is quite literally the human soul. Or perhaps, the essence of the mind. He said that he carefully extracted all 13 brains and blended them into a special bouillon sauce, simmered overnight. A single spoonful, infused with the depth of their complex inner words. He asked to enjoy it alongside the human's flesh and blood. As they started eating, Takanaji said thanks to his staff. He said that at the peak of his dream, he was able to adorn it with the flowers that are all of them. He thought that his path as a chef has truly reached its pinnacle here. But from here, he said that he will go even further beyond. While he was thinking that, he noticed a world who wasn't enjoying the food as much as the others. He went toward him and asked him if he's dissatisfied with something. This wolf's name is Sawtooth, the main guest. Sawtooth said that he wanted Takanaji to throw in everything he had. But this food just feels like a dinner party where the main course ran away. Hearing that, Takanaji got a little angry but still maintained his respect as he said, "This represents my entire career and life. The result of years of effort shared with my cherished comrades. This full-course meal is truly everything he's poured himself into." He asked Sawtooth about what more he could possibly be asking for. Right then, Sawtooth rang a bell. As he did that, Genso entered the room with Takanaji's son. Immediately, Takanaji shouted, asking them to spare his son. He begged them, but they didn't listen. Sawtooth asked him to shut up. Because of his shouting, Sawtooth can't hear the ingredients' voices. With that, the animals jumped on Takanaji's son and started eating him. The boy was shouting with pain as he got eaten alive in front of his own dad. Seeing the scene, Takanaji said that he'll kill every single one of them. Right then, Genso appeared behind Takanaji and said, "You were a good chief, but that's all you ever were." As he said that, Takanaji let out a loud shout that could be heard from outside of the hotel. At night, Genso and Sawtooth were standing alongside. Genso was getting a headache because replacing a chef ended in failure. He's worried, wondering how they are supposed to explain this to the higher-ups. Hearing that, Sawtooth said no, there can be no compromise in their pursuit of culinary excellence. Sawtooth opened his watery mouth and said, "Surely that person will understand. It's all for the sake of creating the perfect dining experience for anthro-humans. After all, humans are just meat in the end." At an unknown place, a kid otter was sitting surrounded by toys. A wolf came into his room and told him that his shipment had been confirmed. After that, Otter was walking on the street with the wolf while other animals were congratulating him, asking him to not forget about them. The otter also said thank you for everything to the wolf. He said that he never imagined the day would come when he'd be shipped out with pride. He said thanks to the wolf and everyone who lived with him. They walked into a warehouse as the otter was saying that there's nothing that makes him happier to become someone's delicious meal. After some walking, they reached a no-entry place and asked the otter to get in. Otter was about to say something when the human that was with the wolf kicked him in. Because of that, the otter fell inside and got grinded. Meat that never flattens up, low quality through and through. The wolf wondered how many they went through this month. Here, from the moment they're born, they condition the meat to recognize itself as food. So it grows stress-free, rich in sweetness and umami, a perfect finish. Even if it's been well trained, any meat that doesn't reach a high grade is immediately culled. Through efforts like these, each farm produces uniquely flavorful human meat, full of local character, and thus, Anthro-Human is brought to life. To the lives that allow them to become meat, we offer respect and gratitude. In a different place, many animals were eating their food and giving respect to it before eating. At that moment, a dog noticed that the animal human beside him didn't properly thank the food. So he asked that animal to eat with better manners. This animal is none other than the goat, Chica. After hearing the dog, Chica just looked at him without saying a word, which caused the dog to get angry. The dog told her that if she wants to become good meat, she needs to have a heart full of gratitude. The dog mentions to her that if she keeps acting like this, the authorities will dispose of her soon. The dog also mentions that he himself will never get disposed of, because he exercises daily and stays fit. At that moment, the animal that was sitting at the other side of the table noticed something on the dog's face and asked him, "What's that?" It turns out that for some reason, the dog is bleeding from his mouth and nose. Everyone got shocked and scared seeing the dog coughing blood. They started panicking, thinking the dog had got some kind of dangerous disease. Before the panic escalated, an announcement happened, asking them to not panic because they have already sent a team to clean up the mess. The table where the dog was eating the food, even though he died, Chica didn't even flinch seeing that and kept on eating her food. A human and an animal were sitting in a controller room. Seeing the death of the dog, he called it a waste. Meanwhile, the animals have been transported to a safe place. As the animals were wondering why they're here, a person came in front of them and announced that they had an infection case in the building this morning. Fortunately, only one individual showed symptoms. As every animal knows, food safety is the top priority at this facility. So, that person announced that everyone who was eating at the cafeteria will be disposed of. In the end, he thanked all the animals for their cooperation. Before the animals could react, the hole, in which animals were standing, got filled with soil and all the animals died, buried alive. At the same time, an animal and a human went to the basement. There, they have stored the kids who were meant to be disposed of today with other animals. They have stored these kids here not to free them, but to butcher them. They will do it secretly to get some good meat for themselves. With that, the animal picked up the axe and asked all the kids to push forward their neck. Surprisingly, the kids didn't question and did just as the oxen said. Then, the oxen used the axe and cut down the head of one of the animals. He threw that head toward the human and asked him to take care of it. With that, he moved forward and butchered all the kids one by one. During the process, not even a single kid showed fear in their eyes. In the end, Oxen pushed down his axe and cut down Chica's head. But the next moment, Chica was well and alive. She thought that she just had a dream. Then, she wore her clothes and left the room wondering where did the dream end and reality begin. After Chica leaves, we see that both the oxen and the human who killed Chica are dead. Chica left the facility saying she's hungry. In a mountain, there was two humans walking. They got lost, so they're trying to find their way back at this moment. After some walking, the man found a place that he recognized. As he was thinking that he found a way back home, he saw a child standing in front of him. The child guessed that they both got lost, so he invited them to his house. The man got really happy thinking that the kid lives here. He told the woman with him that they're saved. But they didn't know that the kid was holding a knife in his other hand. At the same time, Chica was trying to hunt for food in a mountain. She tried to catch a rabbit, but it ran away. Then, because she didn't found any meat to eat, she started eating grass. Suddenly, she heard a voice and went to check where it came from. When she reached the place, she saw an injured wolf. To end the wolf's suffering, Chica picked up a rock to kill it, and asked it if she could eat it after it died. Seeing Chica holding a rock, the wolf just sat down with a scared look on its face. As it showed a scared reaction, Chica threw away the rock and sat down in front of the wolf, waiting for it to die. After a while, the wolf died and Chica went toward it to eat it. Look at this scene, a goat eating a wolf. Even after eating the whole wolf, Chica was still hungry. She walked in the mountain in order to find food, but found a house. She ran toward the house thinking she's get food, but as she got closer, a trap was activated which tied Chica to the rope. Because of that, the person who lives in the house came out to check. The cow came out of the house and smiled after seeing Chica. He freed Chica from the trap and then invited her to his house. Then, he also offered her a lot of food to eat. While she was eating, the cow apologized to her for scaring her with the trap. He said that people occasionally wander into this area by mistake. Saying that, he asked her about where she came from. Then, the cow mentions that this mountain is a dangerous place for a kid like her. Chica answered that she came here from a place where lots of animals live. Hearing that, the cow immediately realized that she came from the farm. Suddenly, the cow hugged Chica, realizing that she went through a lot on the farm. The cow told her that she's safe now. He said that he'll take care of her now. As the cow was talking to Chica, the same kid who we saw earlier was spying on them from the window. After a moment, the boy left the place and reached a warehouse where the man that we saw earlier was trapped. The kid came in front of him, and for some reason, removed his clothes. The man saw him and immediately asked him where his wife was. The kid didn't say anything and just held the knife in his hand. The next moment, the boy was holding a big chunk of meat. He went in the basement and appeared in front of a cell holding the meat and said, "Mom, it's dinner time." Meanwhile, after eating the food, Chica fell asleep. The cow picked her up and lay her down in the bed. Before leaving, he said, "At least tonight, rest easy." The cow said to Chica that she can live here forever, there's plenty of food. While walking, the cow said that today is a nice night. On nights like this, he just feels like drinking. Saying that, he opened the door of the room. Inside the room, there was a horrifying scene. Tens of women were tied to the roof with their breasts in front. The cow didn't waste a moment and started drinking the woman's milk straight from the source. I can't show this scene on YouTube. On the other hand, Chica woke up because she smelled something. She went out of the room while calling for the cow. Right then, she accidentally spotted a door that led to the basement. She went to the basement and saw a bear, whose condition was really bad, sitting in the cell. Chica moved forward her hand to touch the bear, but the bear cut her arm in an instant.